This might be the strangest, yet oddly impressive shelter you'll ever see. From afar, it looks like some kind of wild beast hiding deep in the forest. But walk closer, and surprise, it's actually someone's house. And not just any house. This thing is built using resin mixed with clay, with solid wood flooring inside and even a cozy fireplace. Yes, a fireplace. Inside a creature-shaped shelter. It doesn't stop there. The nostrils can release mist like it's breathing. The eyes are fitted with glass. And those giant fangs? Let's just say if a black bear wandered by, it would probably pause, stare for a second, and slowly back away thinking, yeah, I'm not fighting that. Now, the mastermind behind this masterpiece is Brother C, a man who clearly wakes up every day and chooses chaos over normality. One chilly autumn day, he walked deep into a pristine forest. Most people would take photos, maybe post a story online. But not him. He looked around at the stunning scenery and thought, perfect. I live here now. No hesitation. No second thoughts. Just pure commitment. He started by gathering small trees, sharpening one end, and driving them straight into the ground. Very casual behavior, of course. Using a central point, he mapped out the shape of his future beast lair. Then came the digging. Luckily, the soil was soft, so the work wasn't too exhausting. Even better, nothing went to waste. The plants he dug up were neatly placed aside and later turned into a balcony. Yes, a balcony. Because if you're going to survive in the wild, you might as well do it with style. After some serious shoveling, and a bit of aggressive foot stomping, he managed to carve out a 5-square-meter foundation. At one point, he even stopped to admire the scenery. Because let's be honest, if you're building a monster house in the middle of a beautiful forest, you've earned a quick appreciation break. Then came the main construction phase. He collected logs, measured each one carefully, and sharpened them with precision. Every piece had its place. Like a very intense, slightly dangerous version of Lego. Step by step the frame came together. He drilled holes, tied structures with wire, and assembled everything into a surprisingly solid skeleton. This wasn't random building. This was a man who had clearly spent hours watching wilderness survival videos, and decided, yeah, I can do that. But weirder. The structure became strong enough to support serious weight, which is impressive considering it also looks like it might roar at you. But Brother C wasn't done. Oh no. To make the shelter even more alive, he added ears. Because apparently, turning your house into a beast wasn't complete, without giving it the ability to listen. At this point, the entire frame looked both ridiculous and amazing. Confusing yet somehow logical. Next, he focused on making it livable. He covered parts of the structure with grass, filled gaps with soil, and compacted everything firmly into place using pure human effort. What he might proudly call manual turbo power. Then came the walls. The local clay turned out to be thick, sticky, and incredibly useful. Basically nature's version of industrial glue. With a bit of mixing, it bonded everything together perfectly, making it the ideal material for building sturdy walls. And just when you think this project couldn't get any more intense, there were still the fangs left to finish. Because of course, if you're going to build a shelter in the wild, why settle for a normal house, when you can build something that looks like it might eat your enemies for you? Now comes the highlight, the fangs. Brother C grabs his tool and carefully carves out 2 massive beast fangs. After shaping them, he drills and fixes them right into the mouth of the shelter. And just like that, this place officially upgrades from strange house to something even wild animals might think twice about. With the fangs done, he casually goes back to finishing the walls, as if none of this is unusual at all. But out here, the weather has its own personality, and it changes fast. Fog rolls in, the air turns heavy, and it's obvious a storm is coming. Luckily, the outer walls are already complete. Brother C looks at his work and basically says, relax. This thing can handle it. Moments later, snow blankets the entire forest. Cold, definitely. But panic? Not his style. He immediately decides to build a fireplace. For someone who treats the wilderness like home, this is easy work. In no time, a solid cobblestone fireplace stands in place. He lights it up. Flames roaring, everything looks perfect. Until the smoke fills the entire shelter. Not a little smoke. The kind that makes you question all your life choices. For a brief moment, he nearly turns his own shelter into a smoke trap. He pauses, looks around, thinks for about 1/4 of a second, and comes up with a fix. To vent the smoke, he builds a chimney extension. But here's the twist. He doesn't want to ruin the design. So instead of a normal chimney, he routes the smoke through the bear's nostrils. Yes, the house now literally breathes. Next, he installs a metal door on the fireplace, adds a handle, and now he can control the fire like a pro. Feeling confident, he quickly builds a wooden ladder. and upgrades the outer walls using a mix of clay and plant fibers. This not only smooths the surface, but also protects it from rain. The result: the entire shelter now looks even more like a real beast. Then it's time for furniture. He spots a crooked tree nearby, and immediately decides it's perfect, after cutting it down to a manageable size. Because even he can't carry everything, he drags it back using ropes, and a bit of clever leverage. With materials ready, he starts building a proper door. He cuts logs for the frame, drills holes, connects them tightly, and crafts thick wooden boards for the door itself. Everything fits together cleanly. He then turns it into a double door, installs hinges, and adds a sturdy lock, just in case any curious bears come knocking at night. Inside, he seals the eyes with glass, which improves both lighting and appearance. He stacks wooden blocks to create a raised bed frame, keeping it off the damp ground. For the flooring, he cuts logs into flat boards and lays them down neatly. Small gaps don't matter. They can be filled easily. Now, even on rainy days, the inside stays clean and comfortable. After all this effort, the interior finally matches the wild exterior. He places the remaining planks on the bed frame, and just like that, this bizarre, beast-shaped shelter is no longer just a crazy idea. It's a fully functional home in the wild. He locks everything in place with sturdy nails, then casually throws a soft yoga mat on top. And just like that, a surprisingly cute solid wood bed is complete. The kind of bed you lie on once, and immediately don't want to get up. At this point, the shelter is officially move-in ready. But for Brother C, this is clearly just the beginning. He quickly gets back to work, cutting logs into flat pieces, drilling holes, and connecting them into a strange geometric frame that honestly looks like modern art gone wrong. You stare at it, confused, until he places a few sticks on top, and suddenly it becomes a chair. Not just any chair, but an ergonomic one. Yes, in the middle of nowhere, this man built himself a custom ergonomic chair. After adjusting it to the perfect height, he secures it firmly. No blueprint, no guide, just pure instinct. And somehow it works. But he's still not done. Using leftover wood, he builds a small table with an extra layer in the middle, turning it into a multifunctional tea table that also works as a bedside cabinet. At this point, you realize he's not just surviving. He's upgrading his lifestyle. Everything is made from local materials. Nothing wasted. Every detail filled with his personal style. After a short break, he adds a few wall shelves for storage. Simple, practical, and surprisingly neat. Now the place actually looks kind of magical. Sitting inside a beast-shaped shelter you built yourself, enjoying a quiet, simple life. It's oddly satisfying. After relaxing for a bit, he decides it's time for dinner. He prepares a pot of herbal meat soup, adds salt, pours in fresh mountain water, and lets it slowly cook by the fireplace. While waiting, he throws in some greens, because balance is important. After some time, the meal is ready, turning this wild setting into something almost luxurious. As night falls, he turns on the lights. The beast-shaped shelter stands quietly in the dark forest, looking powerful and slightly intimidating. Even animals nearby would probably avoid it. Just to be safe, he locks the door, finally lets his body rest, and drifts into a peaceful sleep. In the silent night,